Just practice all different attacks from there and defend, right? And you can control your opponent, you can unbalance them, right? If you want to, you can use blows too, right? First, Yiu Shun can be practiced solo, and it also can practice with partners as sensitivity training. So the solo exercise Yiu Shun is from our stance. Yiu Shun is originally from Loha Bafat style, but the way we do it, we've got some Lung Ying influence with the bottom section power, right? So it starts off from the front stance like this, and we go backwards and forwards from there. So from there, when we come back in, we sit right down into the back stance with the weight down, waist stays the same height, the hands roll out, and it's called rowing the boat. As you can see, the exercise of the arms and the feet looks like the action of rowing the boat. The hands are in contact, so as he goes forward, I go back, then I come forward. The hands remain in contact. I rotate the hands, so now I'm inside Scott. Then I go to outside, so he's inside me. We switch, so we swap in getting that inside position. So it flows, and we shift the stance, right? So in here, if I stay here, it's not strong enough to hold him out. He'll be able to unbalance me. But as I go back into this position, then he overcomes. So it's a combination of the stance, giving you that extra distance, and holding him, and also, you know, the arms as well. You can't do it one without the other. So we've just shown you how to do the Loha Bafat Yiu Shun. How does it relate to other forms of sensitivity training, like the Wing Chun Chi Sao or the Tai Chi push hands? Right? Now, for a start, the Wing Chun Chi Sao, there are similarities, because if you look at the single hand sticking hands, right? Yeah, defense here. The single hand, this one, from the Tan Sao to Bong Sao, I'm on the outside.
Yep.
I come down here, I'm on the inside. So this one is a switch from outside to inside. Just like the Loha Bafat, from outside to inside. Then I go there, Scott goes from outside to inside. Here I am coming from outside to inside. So it shifts you in the same sort of way from outside to inside. Where the Wing Chun uses Bong Sao, Tan Sao, Loha Bafat uses different handwork, achieves similar aims, right? When we're doing the standing Chi Sao, it doesn't involve footwork, but as we've shown before, with those different moves like Song Ma, Tui Ma, you have that footwork too, associated. Slightly different. Loha Bafat and Tai Chi both employ the shift from front stance to back stance to give you that extra distance. With the Wing Chun, it tends to be a footwork, right? A Tui Ma, where you actually move the feet. This one, the feet virtually stay, but your center of gravity is forward, and then it becomes back. And that gives you, if you've got good travel, maybe a meter, that extra room, right? So it gets you away from the opponent. At the same time, your hands are engaged. The other big difference in Loha Bafat's Yiu Shun and Wing Chun's Chi Sao is the contact in the Chi Sao is predominantly with the forearm. So, you know, when we're, you know, it's forearm contact here, right, when we do the Chi Sao, right? So with the loha pafat, the contact is by the hands, right? So it's different advantages, disadvantages. The hands can always contact first. So when we're on guard position, Scott, from here to there, I can touch him with my hand quicker than I can get. For me to contact the forearms, I can choose, I have to get to there.
Right.
But contact the hands, I can do it from here.
Yeah.
Right, so it gives me the first go, right? And having the first go, when everything's in milliseconds, is very important. Secondly, the hand is more sensitive than the forearm. All of us do all our work with our hands. We can write, we can draw, we can do everything with our hands. Try and do the same things with your forearm, you can't. Because with your hands, you've got fingers, you've got so many different joints. I don't know. In the forearms, this end there's only one, the elbow. On this end there's only one, the wrist. That bit is solid.
Yep.
So therefore, the hand has a lot more mobility, right? So therefore, getting the first contact and also having that mobility, there's a lot of things you can do, right?
Yeah.
See? Like this, now, instead of doing a complete wrist circle, so from there, already you've got your opponent in deep troubles because all it is, and in loha pafat, after long practice in Yiu Shun, we can from here, you can just practice all different attacks from there and defend, right? And you can control your opponent, you can unbalance them, right? And it's all loose, flowing. You can't trap anything.
No, not right.
Scott's trying to trap me now. I'm not even attacking, but he'll get himself into bad positions like this, right? So it allows you a lot of flexibility.
Oh, that's trouble.
It's relaxed. See? It just flows. But you notice using the wrist, using the thumb, just
if I grab it, I'm in trouble.
little position. Grab it and then So it's all just loose and flowing, and this develops from your Yiu Shun, right? Where you can also, if you want to, you can use blows too, right? Combine with all that wrist work.
Yeah.
And you notice this part is doing its work as well.
Yeah, I was
while we're actually
because I tried to turn you then.
fitting it together, right? So as you can see with this loha pafat, it's a real combo of the lower part and the upper part. Everything's got to fit together in coordination. And not only that, what loha pafat presents is use of the body. Most martial arts, even Tai Chi, keeps a rigid upper body, back straight, and to transmit force, right? Whereas loha pafat, upper body can actually move. So that later on, we even got the movement, right, with the Yiu Shun, where we actually strike here, right? And we practice actually being able to absorb movements by actually this chest opening up so that when you hit, he's hitting here like this absorbs it by going back. So you're actually employing joints that you thought you never had, in the chest, in the back, all around the upper torso area, which most other martial arts do not employ. They just keep the back rigid and they lose all this mobility in the upper half of the body, which loha pafat has. Okay, thanks.
Hi viewers, I guess the obvious question there is, what did that feel like? The pressure was only there when it needed to be. Like Barry's hands felt soft and only medium resistance, but then if I tried to pull, he sort of let me go, but then pushed me back even further. When I tried to shift his weight, you probably saw he rolled my force back on me and locked all my joints up. So there's a lot more power coming out of his stance through relaxed hands, and it's immediately obvious when you're watching the footage. But believe me, it's there.
So what happens when you try to push in towards him?
Well, when I tried to push Barry, I don't know if you could see it, maybe if you play it slowly, but yeah, I did try to push him back and then pull him a couple of times, and he absorbed it in the stance and kept his hands relaxed, and all those joints just moved to absorb my force, and I wasn't able to lock him, whereas I got locked, you know, I wasn't able to withstand it.
Were you able to get away from his hands?
No.
Like go backwards, the jaw?
He stuck with me when I went back. I did move back a couple of times, but when the force was following me, I couldn't get back far enough, you know, even though I thought my legs were strong. Thanks.